Reminder to make me to record the meeting. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I'm going to go back over the agenda because that should be part of the records. So we have a proposed new field, do not contact. We're asking for any additional questions that you have, and then we'll add those to the agenda. Budgets and then coaching logs. Any other items that you all would want on the agenda? If the agenda is fine, you can say fine, or if you want to add an item, say whatever the item is. So just so I get an idea that you're all there. Okay, Kelly says fine. Jennifer says fine. Mary says fine. Good. I think we're on the right track then. So I'll go ahead and start with this new field. One of the people sent a note to the help desk saying, can we add a field, and we can call it whatever we want to call it, and we can we'll talk about it. They suggested something like do not contact, and I'm going to go a little bit over the background. Rebecca says that is there an easy way to indicate a provider is not interested in QI support to prevent having to continue checking communication logs, to seeing if they've expressed an interest and has asked to never be contacted again. I suggested that you put it in a note and send an email for confirmation, but then she said you can barely get a call back from on the phone. When they do, they're not overly nice about it, and I highly doubt that an email confirmation would ever be received. So she's suggesting that we add a box or something in Sugar that says do not contact or express new interest or something. It would need to be at the top of the account, so it could be the first thing seen. Okay, so how many of you think this is worth spending a little bit of time on it and possibly adding this to Sugar? So say it's a high priority, low priority, it would be nice. Just give any comments that you want, either verbally or through the chat box. Angie thinks it's a great idea. Jennifer agrees. A couple low priorities, one high priority, it would be nice. So we got actually, I think we got the whole spectrum all in 5 answers. So that's interesting. We'll talk about it a little bit more then. Part of the discussion was when I talked to Bill about it. Unless people know about it, they are not going to do anything about it or how to use. I think, well, this is an important question that Monica's asking. Does not interested in QI mean they don't need funds or aren't interested in engaging in Colorado Shines? And my guess is that they don't want to be bothered with anything. Like Colorado Shines. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Is this Kathleen? I can't, if somebody's talking, I can't hear you now.
No, it's not Kathleen.
Oh, okay.
I'm here, but I'm not talking.
Okay, all right. So, so my guess, based on the original, what was said, so here was the, I'm going to go back to the provider was not interested in QI support. So they really didn't want to be contacted. Oh, Rebecca's here.
So Rick,
Go ahead.
no, let Rebecca talk.
Okay, yeah. Rebecca, do you want to just explain this more? Oh, she lost audio. So I will read what she said. She said, I want it to mean they do not want any support from the council, and we should take them off the list for outreach. Lisa, did you want?
Rick, I'm going to go ahead. Yeah. So our experience here too is that it takes a lot of work and I think sometimes creativity, and there truly are some folks out there that just don't want anybody outside bothering them. But I guess for me, this is an issue of how is this going to be used? Because what I caution around it is don't think it's a never, ever. Because the work that we've done in our community, it took figuring out different messaging, connecting them with peers that had better experiences to build relationship with some of these folks. And we obviously still have a number of people to still connect with in the end, but we definitely learned a whole lot in the process of getting to the place where we're at. So, and that is that a never isn't always forever.
That's a really good point.
So it's more on how we use it than that we have it.
Okay.
And perhaps some sort of a ability to know what date we put that on there. Because it could be that something really great comes along that would change their mind.
Okay. Yeah, one of the things that Bill...
So maybe it's the kind of contact that we do. So whether that's via email versus calling or something, I just think never is not necessarily forever.
Okay, Tina said I agree, and then Rebecca said do not contact doesn't have to mean forever. It could mean do not contact until date.
Right. I think something that opens the door back to reach out again would be helpful. I just caution that we put something that if you have staff turnover or whatever, that nobody ever reaches out to that program again because of a button that says do not contact. So we have to be careful about how we message that with either within Sugar or within our agencies in practice.
Okay, I agree. One of the things that Bill said that sort of is related to that is it seems like a good way for a director who's having a bad day to prevent her program from ever being notified about available funding. So, I mean, it could just be that they're having a bad day and you don't want to necessarily do it just because of that. But Rebecca...
Right. You know, right now, these programs are under great stress, so with staffing.
Right. Mandy says, would it be better if the council was able to put that in instead of the provider? Yeah, that was my assumption, Mandy, is that actually the provider would not even see this. It would only be in Sugar, where it would say, you know, council don't contact them. Rebecca says, however, there are providers who said, no, I'm not interested. I've been doing this for XX years, and I know that what I'm doing is great, and I don't need anyone else to come in here agreeing with me or telling me otherwise.
So maybe they're contacted once a year.
Yeah.
Maybe they're contacted every year. I don't know.
Tina says, or when add to check off, a Sugar must add a task, for example, follow up fall. Okay. So have something follow up, you know, something besides, well, I'm thinking it would be more useful for FHPs. Yeah, for a family home. Well, add a task or an action item. Tina, can you explain a little bit more? Can you get on? I'm not sure I understand.
So basically, one way is always if you put a deletion or a check off, meaning, okay, don't contact this, you always want to add a task, meaning that it's the if then, you know. So if there's a box that says, please don't contact this provider, you want to be able to add a note like in the bad mood, change of directors, whatever's going on. But then you always want to add an action item after that, because then the follow-up, it'll show as a follow-up, you know, a task. In other words, always adding a task after the point, saying task, okay, follow up in the fall, or action item, don't call them in the morning, you know, whatever that is.
What if...
So it's not just a, you know what I mean? It's not just a one-off of that they don't want to be contacted or however you put it in Sugar, but that there's always an action that accompanies it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, what I'm trying to make it simple too, and
right.
Instead of a checkbox, what if we just had a no contact text box, and then people could put in like until, you know, 5/1/2018, or they could put in because they were not in a good mood or whatever, and then they could use it however they want to use it.
Yep, that would work.
And Rebecca just added, at the end of the day, I just need something that is easy to see where providers are in their plans for engagement somewhere other than the communications log that we have to go through each log to see what was communicated. Okay. Rebecca, does just a no contact text box do that instead of a checkbox? Oh, that says works for me. Any other comments? Is just a text box alone okay? Because then you really could put in whatever you want to put, and then people could use it how they want to use it. Karina says sounds good. Sounds good to me too, says Teresa. Okay, so this is the test site. Bill is great. He made a blue bar instead of the normal bar for me, so I don't accidentally goof up something on the test site. So here is the, I had put in a checkbox, but essentially what I'll do is do not contact, and it will be a, it's not going to be a select list, but it will be just a regular text box. So it will look like this. She suggested having it at the top. There was a blank actually right underneath the abbreviation next to FFN status. So I was thinking about putting it here. So does that sound okay with do not contact text box? And then right up here at the top. Rebecca says that sounds good, or perfect, she said. Okay. All right, so I want to make sure that the name of the fields, do not contact, sounds okay to everybody? At top of the field, second row. Okay, do you want, I can put underneath when you do, see if you see right now, when we click on it, right now it says see notes. Do you want any kind of help when you're filling that in? So that's the help text. So if there's any suggestions, maybe Rebecca, you would have more than just see note. I mean, it wouldn't be see notes because now it is a note itself. So we wanted something generic enough that anybody can use it. Do we want any notes? Say why? Oh, okay. Just why? Or we could say suggestion or something like that. I didn't want to do that. Why suggestion? Say why, no contact, put in date, type of outreach, follow-up date, ooh, we got somebody's music. I'm not sure whose music that is. Oh, okay. So is that the help text okay? Suggestions? Why not? Why no contact? Follow-up date? Type of outreach? Don't want? Works for me. Good. Okay, Lisa says good. You can always remember in the, like if it's not big enough, I mean, you can always put additional notes in, but that's way down here. So you could also say like see notes if you want a really long.
Please stay on the line. We'll be back in a moment.
Whoops. Not sure who's, oh, I got it. I muted. Okay. Okay, do we need any, how do we have 29 people on the call, but obviously more users. Do you think just an email saying that we've added this, it would be sufficient? With maybe a link to this meeting. Okay, so email notification to Sugar users. We added field with link to this meeting. Okay. Okay, so Monica says that they'll share it on the weekly communication, and so I will, let me say, also send to Monica for info. Okay. Any other comments or anything else we need on this? When we pull out a report, is there a way to filter those out? Yes, and it will be sort of depend on how people use it. I mean, in reports, you could say contains, you know, when you're doing filter, it could be contains whatever phrase that you actually put in there. But obviously that would be unique. So Rebecca, when you I think let's try it for a while, and then we'll see if there's specific reports that people want. Yeah, definitely there is a way to, however you want to use it. So you could say, I want to see all those, like if you put the date in first or something like that, you can organize it by date and then say you're going to be contacting these hard to contact people during certain times. Okay, any other comments, questions? You can say no more, or move on, or something like that. Good. Rebecca says exactly what I was thinking. And I do think, I think it is a really good suggestion, Rebecca, and I'm glad you brought it up. Okay. The next thing I wanted to do is I was looking for the summer and noticed that there is no budgets for anything yet for either QI dollars, external coaching, or internal coaching for the funding streams that are in for the ITQA, CCAP, and school readiness. So that's really the first step for you all to be starting to send out MOUs, starting spending, and stuff like that. So I just wanted to, I know that this was talked about, I wasn't here when I was on vacation, so 2 Fridays ago. I don't know if there's questions, if people just haven't had time, if we need more help. So I just wanted to see where everybody's at so we can start moving on the funding for the summer. So this is just an open discussion right now of what you need, or if you just said, just haven't had time, I'll put it in, or if you said if we need another webinar to explain it, or if you want me to go over it really quickly right now, whatever.
Hey, Rick, can you go over it right now? I missed the webinar a couple of weeks ago. We don't have any budget in sugar. I'm assuming that you're wanting just a 4-month budget in sugar right now?
Right, it's the one through September 30th. Is that right, Monica?
Right, okay.
Yep, Monica says yes. Okay, I've heard, okay, please go over it quickly. Same here, please go over it quickly. No, MOUs would not be done manually and uploaded because I've actually been working on MOUs. There are 3 MOUs, one for each of those, that essentially is just an amendment for the MOU from last year. Because essentially the funding is for those that were approved last year, but you can add additional funds for them. So does that sound right, Monica? Okay, yes, all right. So I am going to go in. We'll go into Bill. Good old. So I'm clicking on funding streams. Oh, I'm not going to do it by everybody. You should just see your funding streams. And right now that's a lot, but whoops, I hit the wrong one. I hit spending details. Okay, there we go. So the funding streams for the summer have the abbreviation, and some of you have all 3, some of you have 1. So SR EXT, ITQA EXT, and CCAP EXT for extension. And it has 7/1/2017 through 9/30. So when you look at the funding stream, so I'll go back again. Again, this will be just your funding streams. It depends. I have a date in here of 6/27. You may see more than your 3. You may see just the 3. One is, okay, so you click on the funding stream. You can put the budget summary in. That allows you to keep good numbers and when you see the variance. But you can't do anything unless the QI dollars detail, internal coaching detail, and external coaching detail are filled out. So these are the required ones in order for you to spend money. So in the QI dollars detail, and I assume everybody has all their budgets, so your numbers will be different. So this is for materials, so let's say it's $1,000. And so that's the total QI budget. If this second one is for how much of it are you going to do directly for applications. So it depends on, like, if you 100% of your funding was for provide that you don't have any in sort of discretionary areas, so you would put in 1,000 here as well. Or yeah, somebody who's
Are we putting in what amounts they're going to get this time in advance?
This is just the funding stream total right now that I'm on, and yes, what happens is that what Bill did is he took all essentially the applications that were for last year and made this extension one, but there is 0 requisitions for each one. So you have to put in the amounts specifically for each provider.
Perfect, thanks.
Okay. All right, so you need to put in these 2 numbers for the QI dollars detail. And then for the coaching detail, you need to put in your projected hours. I'm going to put in 50 hours. And then your budget, let's say it's 5,000. And then your billable rate, you put in 100. So put in those 3 fields. External coaching, you put in your budget. I'll put in 6,000. Some of you will have both internal and external. Some will have one or the other. Okay, and then the external coaching rate, I'm going to put in 100. A part of the webinar was calculating your external coaching rate and much more details than I'm going into. Okay, so those are the fields that you have to put in. Okay, and we got a question already. If your coaches are internal, paid by operating, do you have to add money and hours for internal coaches? Yes. I think that's it. Does anybody disagree with that? Because the purpose of Sugar is to record coaching. One of the purposes is to record coaching hours. Monica, do you agree with that? Okay, Julia said, I think I know the hours. We would put in the hours, but not the amount yet. Well, the amount is what would be in your budget. So I'm not sure I understand.
Hi, Rick. Can you hear me? This is Monica.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was having trouble with my phone, so I was typing in. So to my knowledge, and I kind of agree with what Julia is saying, that some of the councils will just put in 50 hours, but they won't actually put in the amount of money that takes.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. You don't have to put in, I agree, I understand now. So you don't have to put in for the internal coaching. You could just put in the hours and it will take from the hours.
But you might have to put in a dollar figure to get to have any hours? That's what happened last year?
Yeah, you might.
I think, or did we able to 10 hours straight hours?
I'm trying to think.
That will just make a difference.
Right.
And it will make a difference after October 1.
Yeah, definitely for October. But if for those, go ahead and try it. And if we have some problems, I'll let you know. But definitely you have to have the hours in for internal coaching so it can grab it. I'm a little bit concerned about the allocation, though. You do have to put in a rate.
Rick, are you referring to the coaching rate?
Right.
Okay, and so we did share that during the webinar, and everyone should have that coaching rate tool. And hopefully everyone's gotten started on kind of seeing what their rate looks like.
So this billable internal coaching rate is what that's talking about. That field is new. And did you go over that particular field, Monica?
We went over the coaching rate tool. It was kind of a green Excel spreadsheet is what it looked like. So we actually didn't show this piece in Sugar.
Okay. But that after you do that tool, and that for those of you that weren't on the call, that was at June 23rd, Monica?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so if you want to go to the call, one easy way is just to search on June 23, and then you'll see that, the link to that call, so you can see all the details.
Rick, I don't think that call was recorded.
You can see all the details that were sent out with the spreadsheets. I mean, the spreadsheet is what I'm talking about. Yeah, the call actually.
Okay, yeah.
So if you have a problem, and the PowerPoint that they used and all that kind of stuff, there's about, I think, around 6 attachments to that call.
Yeah, I got those. There's not a recording.
Right. The recording, technology created a problem, so there was no recording. So try to use the spreadsheet, and if you're having a problem, send a help ticket. If we have enough people that that want another us to go over it and record it, just let us know through the support at eclacolorado.org. You do need to put in a coaching rate, though, Julia. Oh, okay. And better yet, set up a call with your QRS coordinator if you need assistance with the tool. So Monica chimed in. So that probably is better because she can give you very detailed, specific to your case. What we would do on a call would just be really general. Thank you, Monica. Karina says, once you start working on it, it's pretty easy to figure out. So give yourself a little time and maybe a glass of wine, and then go through the spreadsheet and you'll be fine. If not, that's why we have the support here for you. They mentioned on the call that it did not apply to external coaches. I think that's optional. If you want to use the tool to figure out your external coaching rate, you can do that. But I wasn't on the call, so Monica, do you want to? Oh, okay. She says correct. So external coaching is optional, but you can still use the same tool. Obviously, you wouldn't have fringe. That I think is the main item that would be different. You don't have a fringe rate because you're not paying like healthcare and that kind of stuff to external coaches. Okay, any other questions on this funding stream? Nope. Okay. Yeah, please. Yeah, I like it when you say no, or then how do we determine the rate as an external coach if the rate is needed? Well, essentially what you're doing with external coaching, you're putting in your external coaching budget and your rate, but you're using it by estimating how many hours that you can, for paying the coaches like $6,000. If they could do 60 hours, that would be $100 an hour. If they could do 120 hours, and this is including your training and your mileage and all that kind of stuff. So that's what the spreadsheet's about. So if you have more questions, talk to your QRS coordinator first, and then if you need more help, send a support ticket.
Hey, Rick, this is Sandy.
Mm-hmm.
Once this information in that you just said, are we able to go in, let's say we made an error, are we able to go in 3 weeks from now and make a change? Or once we put these numbers in, they're in?
Well, no, you cannot make a change. And
okay, so once these numbers go in, they're in, and we need to make sure when we put these in, we're 100% sure that they are correct numbers.
Right. I mean, I gave you the short answer. Because what happens is all the requisitions and all the, sort of the variances are all based on that hourly rate for external coaches. And so
right.
If you start doing coaching, and actually the coaching logs as well. So once that changes, that has created a big mess in the past, where you think you have more money and you don't. So especially right now it's only 3 months, but as we get for October, it will be for 9 months. So maybe if you make a mistake during this 3-month period, we can correct it. It's just very cumbersome, and sometimes the corrections they take a lot of work on both sides for the council.
Yeah, and so I know I'm in a unique position, but my funding is strange, so I'm going to have to. What my point is I just need to be very correct in my numbers between the two entities that are managing money for me before I put it into Sugar. Is all I'm saying. Totally.
Yeah, because mine's more complex than many, so I will make sure I work that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Sandy. Okay, any other questions that you want to ask?
Hi, Rick. This is Sharon. I just had a further clarification point on that. Are you saying that in October we can't change the coaching rate, that it would be the same as what we put in for this extension?
No, there'll be a separate, with those, there'll be a completely new set of funding streams. So
okay, because our amount of programs will differ, so right. It'll change the calculation a little bit. Okay, right. Thanks.
And it is even possible that you'll have a different coaching rate for school readiness versus ITQA versus CCAP. That makes it complicated, but the QRS team really used them a lot for this because this is where a lot of the challenge has been, is with the coaching rates. Julie asked, can we send MOUs now? Well, I created the MOUs yesterday, and I tested actually there's 6 MOUs because some of the councils have 3 signatures and some have 2 on the MOUs, and they all seem to work. Yeah, actually I couldn't test one until this morning. So we're very close, but until you fill in your funding streams, then you can't send MOUs. So right now, nobody can send MOUs because for 2 reasons. One is that I haven't populated all of the council's funding stream records. I wanted to test them all first. But the second one is that, that you need to fill in your funding stream before MOUs can be sent. So we're really close from both ends. Is you all have to fill in that, and I tested it, and I'm going to have Bill upload them all. I just want him to double check the work that I did yesterday.
Is it possible to see the language on those MOUs?
Sure. I thought they were, let's see. Let me pull it up. Okay. All right. First, we were going to do one, but we had to do three. Okay. So here's the title. It starts with the abbreviation. So school readiness in this case. As a current participant in school readiness, and then it goes through the council name, your information, and then the uni is the provider. So it will fill this in, whatever you have in sugar. So that's always a good thing, is to double check that the names are correct before you send out MOUs. Okay, view. I'm wondering, what the best way is to get this to you all. I mean, this is it. It's just a one-page thing. Essentially, it says they're made based on a variety of factors, including quality level, number of classrooms, as expressed in your QIP. And then it tells you what the resources are, expenses, technical assistance, coaching hours, and training. And the MOU may be modified with the written consent of all parties and my signature. I can in the...
That does look...
Yeah, Julia, what I will do on this meeting, I will include, I'll include a link to this. It's just an example.
Yeah, I think, you know, this is just one of those things that we have to sign this, and we could have potentially been asked to sign something we'd never seen before. So it would be nice to have a look at it. It looks nice and simple and just an extension.
Right.
So that's very helpful to know.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. And I think, you know, I don't know if Monica can answer this question or not, but it seems that in some calls and conversations that it's been kind of unclear whether we are limited to only working with the programs who were under these funding streams this prior year, or if another program has become eligible, one of those other programs isn't going to need us these 3 months, can we bring somebody else in? And I just, you know, and so that makes this MOU thing a little bit different in that case. So I just, an answer to that would be helpful.
Yes, you can work with new programs. And I think that's in that summer strategies document.
Extension.
Yeah, the summer extension. It's on there. You can work with new programs.
Yeah, but that you will have to have a different MOU.
Yeah, so we have to just work around that somehow.
Right.
I don't know that it will be many, so I don't think it's worth all of the work you would have to do on the backside, unless that's just the way people want to go.
Right. And Monica, I do not have a MOU template for that situation. So if that comes up, we'll either need to do it, you know, well, what do you want to do in that situation, Monica, since I don't have one? We have last year.
We currently have an MOU for that situation. Let me look into it.
Okay, because we have last year's MOU.
For me, last MOU is with new dates, would seem to work.
So Monica, just let me know if that's what you want me to do, because I can easily put that up.
But then it's the figuring out which one do you send.
Right. Yeah. And how you do it, because right now in the extension, it just says send MOU. It's not send an amendment or anything like that. So,
Right.
yeah, we might have to have you do it in the manually way. So it's possible that the process will be, if you do have a new one, we'll send you the template, but you'll fill it out and you'll put it in manually.
Yep. Thanks.
I'm going to put a note here for myself. Monica will get back. Okay? Okay, we have already one that needs the template. So as soon as you can, Tina is the one that needs it. So if you can get back to me and let me know so I can send out the template as needed. Okay, got 2. 3?
I'm a no because I think I already have it.
Okay. 4? Okay. All right. 5. So we got quite a few that would like it. Okay, any other questions? So what I'm going to do is, once Monica approves the language for this year's new MOU, I will attach it and send out attach it to this meeting notes and send out a reminder that it's there, because we have already 6 people and we only have 26 people on the call, so it's very possible we'll have quite a few more. Or you may need it later that you don't know now that you need it. Okay, why don't you type in if you...
In that,
Go ahead.
I'd be clear that these are for those new programs and what the process will be for those that are going to be the continuing extension ones.
Right, the continuing extension ones are almost all ready to do. You guys have to put in your funding streams, and I have to have Bill populate the your funding streams with the agreements that I just tested. But that should be, within really soon.
Yeah, I'm just thinking for people who aren't on the call, we don't want them to think they just need to send out that template for everything.
Yes, make sure instructions on which templates to use for what, for new versus continue. Thank you, Lisa. Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead and write. If you have no questions, put no. If you, because I'm going to end the call early, 9 minutes early, if we have no more questions. Coaching logs. Oh, that was above. Coaching logs. Let me go back to that. I'll just add a note. Okay, Bill is still working on the coaching log interface. So as soon as that interface is out, and I was hoping it would be done before now, but there's been a couple of program glitches.
I think it's live.
It is?
One of my coaches this morning was all excited.
Oh, because I went in yesterday and looked. Let me see. I'm excited. Let me see if it's there. Yeah, it's there. Yay. Okay. So you can enter them both the old way and the new way. Woohoo! We get to celebrate that it's live.
They have to have a sugar license though, because
Yeah.
the coaches have been stuck waiting for this because they couldn't get in.
Right, because I took out, I cut those licenses in half.
Which is, yeah. Yep. So perfect.
Rebecca, it's probably better to go through EC Connect because it's simpler. I mean, they already know how to use sugar, but it's still simpler in EC Connect and faster. It should be. I haven't tested the live version, obviously. Yes, they have to know how to. There was actually for logs, there was a training that we did on the website. Let me go. See, if you scroll down to the right, there's the Friday support calls, and you can go there to look for the coaching log training, because that was last month. But if you need help, I mean, it's fairly easy. I mean, the whole purpose of using EC Connect was to make it much easier and quicker. But I expect there'll be a few questions as people use it first. And then we're going to have another training next week with the questions that come up now. So there'll be on Friday, the next call will be specifically coaching logs for anybody that missed the training.
The next Friday.
Yes, this next Friday at 9:30. So same time. Okay, I think we are, how does the EC interface with Sugar and how do we monitor the coaching logs differently than we did before? The coaching, actually the EC Connect interface just feeds into Sugar, so you would be monitoring them the same way, but I haven't done the monitoring yet through EC Connect, but if you have a Sugar license, then you can monitor exactly the same way that you've done before. So Kelly, does that answer your question? Okay, cool. Well, everybody have a wonderful afternoon and stay cool. Thank you very much.
The dream of earning a degree a reality. Ask about financial aid options when we return to the line, or visit rrcc.edu/FINAID. That's FINAID for more information. We'll be with you shortly.